live on the iPad yet, and it's not very often I go live using. Oh yeah, the comments come up right in the middle.
Oh.
We can't see ourselves because the comments come
That's
up in the
right.
middle. That's all right. It's not live on here, is it?
No.
But anyway, I'm assuming you can see us. Oh no, it says live in 20. Oh no, that's how long we've been live for. Oh, there we are.
There we are.
Oh wow, that's a huge difference to.
For that.
Yeah, look at that. You look really high up. Shall I bring you down a little bit?
Yeah.
That might be a bit better. And then, sorry to keep adjusting. That looks a bit more natural, doesn't it? Anyway, how are we all? It's lovely to see everyone. We'll just do a few hellos. So, Cuppa catch-up and cards from the Cottage this week. So, as I mentioned last week, we're here in Glastonbury. So we thought we'd go live and say hello to everyone and give you a little bit of a catch-up. We've also got the obligatory mead. We're going to have a glass of mead with you. So Marilyn was the first one in. So hello, Marilyn. Nice to see you. And then Elspeth. And then we had Sarah. Hello, Sarah. And Tarot Trouble. Nice to see you. Dawn, who is also here in Somerset, but you obviously live here. I didn't know you lived in Taunton. So you said you saw a bus today, didn't you?
Yeah,
to Taunton.
There's a bus going to Taunton from the high street.
Had we known, we could have jumped on it. Bumped into a couple of people though, haven't we?
Yeah.
While we've been here as well, which was nice. And then we've got Jackie's Crystal Moon. Hello, nice to see you. How are you? Cecilia's here. Hello, Cecilia. We have Forever We're After. Glad you're doing this live. I was going to get some mead for the occasion, but ran out of money.
Oh,
I brought a special bottle of mead today as well. The Krampus one was a little bit more expensive. These are around £11-12, like a regular bottle of wine. But in the Georgian Pilgrim on the high street, they do this really nice one in a square bottle. And Giselle, who we'd parted company with at this point, sent a picture and said, the shop Weird Raven, which I'd never been to before because it's down one of the side streets, was selling it. So I thought, well, do you know what? I'll take one back for Christmas. take it last of Christmas. I don't know who I'm trying to kid there, but it's the Krampus one. And I had that last year and I really liked it. Really nice, the Krampus one. Who else have we got? So we've got Malamia. Hello, Malamia. Petra. Hello, Petra. Charlie. Nice to see you. Rolf. Hello, Rolf. Linda. Colleen. Raven Song. And Rachel. Hello, Rachel. Nordic Tarot. Amanda. Hello, Amanda. I always associate you with Glastonbury.
Yeah.
What a lovely surprise. Hope you're having a fab time. Yeah, we are. It's the last night.
Yeah.
But and then we've got Lily Rose. Hello, Lily Rose. We have Holly, Trisha, and Lolly. So nice to see you. Shall we have a glass of mead wine?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, we've got the glasses at the ready. So yeah, we've been here. This is the end of our third day. So we just booked for 3 nights. Last year was here for 5 nights. This year we booked for 3, our usual 3. But next year we're booking for 5. So, well, we've already booked.
5.
5 nights. 7. Yeah, it was 5 last year, wasn't it? You were like, 5?
7. So that'll be the longest we've ever stayed here.
Yeah.
But we're going to do some different things though as well, aren't we?
Yeah, because there's certain things that we always like to do. So like we've just got back from the White Spring, which was amazing. We'll tell you about that. So there's this stuff that we love to do every year, like go up the Tor, the White Spring, or the High Street. We didn't do the Abbey this year, but I think once you've done the Abbey,
You don't really need to do it unless
every
you
year.
particularly like it and want to do it every time.
Yeah. So, but there's other places around. We didn't get. I think it's 2 years since we last went to Avebury, which is amazing. I love
Oh, I
Avebury.
love Avebury.
But 10 minutes from here apparently is Wells. I've never been to Wells and seen Wells Cathedral or anything like that. And then there's Weston-super-Mare with the Grand Pier. So we thought, well, next year, why don't we just come for a week and travel as well? So yeah, so anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, this one is the elderflower.
Elderflower.
This is one of your favourites, isn't it? The elderflower, you're saying?
Well, I like the black cherry one, I think,
Black
probably
cherry's
more.
nice. Do you like it more? We should have just got that then. But
this is nice.
it is nice. It's really nice. So, yeah, we bought a bottle of black cherry. We had that on the first night, didn't we? On Thursday night.
So nice, that one.
Yeah. I just don't want to miss anybody's comments. I am so jelly. Can't wait to get back there. Maybe next year. Have you been to Glastonbury then, Linda? So, I say it every year, you know, the journey down is always grueling. It's not the easiest of journeys, but once you pull into the car park, switch the engine off, get out the car, then that journey just disappears and you're back in the spirit of Avalon, and the smells hit you, don't they, first?
The smells and
Burning
it's the
Cuppa.
whole feel of the place for me. As soon as I get out of the car, oh, hi, Deanne.
Oh, is Deanne here? Oh yeah, hi Deanne, nice to see you. And someone's put Wells is lovely, the cathedral is amazing. That was Amanda. So
Yeah.
yeah, well you've been, haven't you?
I've been, yes.
I've never been, so that'll be fun. Mary Magdalene Chapel is amazing. Yeah, we went in there last year. We found it quite by accident because from our cottage where we are on Bear Lane, out here at the back, so this is the window that leads onto where it's a conservatory, and then at the back of that there's a very long garden, and then when you get to the end there's a wall, and that's the Abbey grounds. So you can sit at the end of this garden. We've not done that for a couple of years. No. It's our 3rd year staying here. You can sit and it's raised up and you can look out over the Abbey grounds, which is lovely. But from where we are, you can either go left and you'll eventually come to the top of the high street, or you go right and you'll come out at the bottom of the high street. And last year when we turned right, I think it was the first time we walked into town that way.
I think it was, yes.
We came across the Mary Magdalene Chapel.
And you were like, oh, what's that?
It was just like this little twitchell in between two buildings with an arch at the bottom, and we just said, well, let's just go and have a look. And it was quite nice. It was quite relaxing. 7 days sounds magical. Yeah, really.
Yes.
We were saying today we've tried to cram a lot in, and sometimes that can be really exhausting.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got a bit longer, you can pace yourself. You don't have to get up as early. You can just kind of wake up when you need to wake up, which we did today because the Chalice Well didn't open till 10.
No.
So, and we was doing that first, so we could have a bit of a lay-in without setting any alarms. Whereas 5 o'clock getting up on the day I travelled down here. What time did you get up that day?
5:30.
5:30. And then yesterday we got up early. Why did we get up early? Oh, we went up the tour. So we got up there for about 9 though, wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Well, going up was okay. But...
Yeah. Are you staying during Samhain next year? Yes. Yeah, we're going...
Before and
during. Yeah, so the last 2 years, because it's been leap years, jumped 2 days. Last year, we always booked for 3 nights. So to stay here at Moonstone Cottage, it's a 3-night minimum stay. So we always book the 3 nights. But last year, the people that had got it booked before us cancelled. So we got the option of extending our stay, which we decided to do for a couple of nights.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have just been 3 nights
Stone
again.
Circle, 35. Yeah, Stanton Drew Stone Circle. I've heard about that.
Oh, is that worth checking out?
Yeah.
Is it near here then?
Yeah, 35-minute drive.
Oh, that's not bad.
I've heard about that, and I would like to see that.
Because Avebury was an hour and 15 minutes, wasn't it, each way?
Yeah, that might be nice to try and find that Stanton Drew. Stone Circle.
Well, I love stone circles.
Me too.
Oh, I forgot what I was saying. What was I
sorry.
saying? Can anybody remind me what I was twittering on about?
About three nights stay minimum, and then we decided to stay for the 5 nights because they offered you the extra.
Yeah, but I don't know where I was going with,
Oh, okay.
with any of that. Oh, it was just about not rushing it. We were saying that we
not
we
having
felt
to
that
rush.
yeah. And today we wasn't planning on seeing Giselle and Keith. So if you're in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, you'll have seen that we met up with Giselle from the channel Mad Witch and her husband Keith, and it's been lovely, really lovely spending time with them. First time I came to Glastonbury was to meet Giselle, which was 6 years ago, and I've not seen her since. You saw her a couple of years ago, didn't you?
About a year ago.
About a year ago.
I met up with her.
So I'd not seen Giselle for 6 years, and you came with them, didn't you?
Yes, I was able to be driven to Giselle and Keith's house, and from there I drove to Glastonbury with them, or Keith drove us from there. So that was nice.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the comments as well. I'm not sure what that one's in relation to. So so today we'd said goodbye to Giselle and Keith because they had 2 nights stay and we had 3 nights stay. And last night we went out for a meal, which was really nice. Went to the Georgian Pilgrim and had
lovely food, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a new menu, brand new menu. And there's a couple of teething issues with it, but the food was, you can't fault it.
It's new staff and stuff, and they've got to get used to it all.
New staff, new menu, but it was beautiful. And so we'd said goodbye to them, so we wasn't expecting to see them today, but when we came out of the Chalice Well and we went onto town, we bumped into them again on the high street as they were getting ready to go. But look, it's just so lovely to spend time with them. So,
it was.
Yeah. But the food last night was lovely.
It was lovely.
We had a camembert sharer for a starter, didn't we?
And that was so nice. That bread as well that was with it.
Homemade fresh bread, crunchy, with camembert. And then for my main, I had the fish, which came with chorizo, new potatoes, and I can't remember what that veg was.
Kale.
No, I didn't have that one, did I? Have one that was the stringy.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I can't remember what it was now. Some fancy
thing.
yeah,
I
fancy
had
veg.
the Caesar salad and it was huge in the bowl, but the chicken was so soft and just broke apart. It was just really, really nice. I couldn't eat it all because there was so much in the bowl.
Yeah, and then sticky toffee pudding. If sticky toffee pudding is on a menu, that is my kryptonite, because I don't usually have puddings. If I usually just have a starter and a main, but sticky toffee pudding, and this was the best. It was amazing. It was so nice. It was in a toffee sauce and Cornish ice cream. Yeah, and it was a nice piece, but it was very light.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a stodgy pudding.
And Giselle and I shared a chocolate brownie with ice cream.
Janine says, evening all, I'm going to Glastonbury for the 2nd time next summer solstice. Looking forward to going back again. I missed Magdalene Chapel last time, so intend to go next visit. Yeah, I think it's, and no matter what your belief, I still think it's nice to go and see it, because
nice to see.
It's not throwing religion down your throat, is it? It's like a peace garden, really, and a reflection.
It's very peaceful there, isn't it?
There were people meditating in the small chapel, wasn't they? And it feels that, and we said this last year, the amazing thing about Glastonbury is it welcomes everybody, and it doesn't segregate people. They seem to. We went into, where did we go today? And they was playing Hare Krishna music. The Chalice Well garden shop.
Yeah, that's it, yes.
So the Chalice Well really is Christian, because the chalice, it's believed where Jesus' uncle Joseph of Arimathea brought the chalice from the Last Supper, and it's supposed to be buried under the tor, or around the Chalice Well.
Around the Chalice Well.
And so that's why they say the water runs red, because it's the blood of Christ. Well, pagans also claim the Chalice Well as Gaia, you know, and the menstrual blood of Gaia, the earth energy. So, but both live harmoniously side by side, and we was in the Chalice Well shop, and they were playing Hare Krishna chants, which was really nice.
And you see the Hare Krishnas here sometimes.
Yeah, we saw them last year, didn't we? So, Stanton Drew is well worth it. Oh, and the small free car park.
Oh, Brian,
So that's good.
Flashy Nerd Tarot.
Oh, hello, Brian.
Hello.
Nice to see you. And so Neil says, just popped in here quickly as I saw you're live. Wishing you both a wonderful time in Glastonbury. How great you're back there. Can't wait to watch this later. Send you lots of love. Well, nice to see you. Thank you for popping in. And Glastonbury is top of my list next time we're in England. Hopefully it won't be long before we make another trip. Did you get to Glastonbury last time, Brian? I seem to think that you did. I know you went to London, and weren't we in London the same time or around the same time and missed each other? I've been to the main places, but I am wondering whether there are any little places I'm not aware of. Are you aware, Janine, of the White Spring? So we've just got back, haven't we? We almost didn't go.
Because we packed a lot into today.
So we got up. I didn't sleep very well last night. It was 4 a.m. before I fell asleep. You was all right, but the night before you'd had a bad night. So we went down to the Chalice Well Gardens, which was lovely. When we got there, we felt like we got the whole gardens to ourselves. So I vlogged, but on that part of the vlog, I think I'll just set music to it just so you can enjoy the walk around the gardens. The wellhead was dressed beautifully.
Oh, yes.
I might be able to give them a sneak peek, actually, if it's synced across. For Samhain, it was still decorated for Samhain. And it just looked, yeah, it will be on here because they're merging across, look. Just looked so nice. There you go, let's do it that way. Hopefully that will show. So that's the Chalice Well, dressed for Sam with all the pumpkins, and yeah, it was beautiful. And we sent a message to Giselle and Keith saying we virtually got the whole garden to ourselves. By the time we was getting ready to go, it was filling up, wasn't it?
But we were there early.
Yeah, I think 15 minutes after it opened, something like that. And yeah, it just, I love going to the Chalice Well. And this time we took a walk around one of the outside paths, and we saw the tour for the first time.
Because it goes around the top.
Yeah,
So you're
higher up. And I used to say when we've been to the Chalice Well previously, what a shame that over time we've built walls and houses and buildings, because the Chalice Well is at the foot of the tor, but you could never see the tor because of, there's a wall. It's a walled garden. But because we walked around the external path, it was quite high up. I said, oh look, there's the tor. So we stood in the Chalice Well gardens and could see the tor. We've never experienced that before.
So that was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then we took a walk into town.
Yeah.
And we had some lunch. I can't remember where we had lunch. Oh,
that cafe.
Yeah, I had a ploughman's lunch.
Ploughman's, it was huge as
you
well.
had quiche.
I had quiche, yes.
Yeah, and that's when we then bumped into Giselle. But the reason why I was telling you this was we did a lot of walking. So from here to the Chalice Well, back here to bring the water back, because you don't want to be carrying bottles of water. So we always fill up at the White Springs and the Chalice Well. Hi, Face. And then we walked from here into town, and then we did the last minute shopping. So we knew this was our last chance. So things that you see over the days and think, well, I might come back and get that. Hi, Hazel. I might come back and get that if I decide I want it. Because sometimes you can impulse buy and then think after, I don't know, I got that really.
Yeah.
Or, you know, sometimes you buy because you think, oh, it's the last one, I better get it, because we've been caught out like that before.
We have, yes.
So what we tend to do is you kind of shop and think, well, that's quite a purchase, so I'll see what funds are like at the end of the trip. So this afternoon was that sort of, right, let's get what we want to get, and that's that done then. So then we had to walk loaded with bags, and they were really heavy. I bought, like I said, a big bottle of Mead, which weighed a ton. I'd got a Goddess, which was a heavy Goddess. And so, time we got back here, sorry, I'm getting told off here. By the time we got back here, we was like, oh, we need to go to the White Spring. And we was both kind of like, well, let's have a cup of tea and see if we can get that last bit of energy to get up there. And then I just said, didn't I, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just go, because I think if we don't go, we will say when we got home, oh, I wish we'd gone to the White Spring. So, and as I said last year, if ever there's a temple for me, it's the White Spring.
Oh, yeah.
It's I can't even put it into words.
No.
It's incredible.
You have to experience it.
Yeah. And you feel quite emotional in there as well.
You do, yeah. Oh, God, yes.
And so we went, and boy, I'm glad we went. Because we came out there, and you come out and every ache and pain's gone, and you just feel recharged.
And you just feel like this sense of calm, like total relaxation after coming out of there.
Yeah.
You know, you're walking down the street afterwards, and you just...
And it's really powerful, because you walk in and it's only lit by candlelight. There's no electricity in there. No. There's water gushing everywhere, all across the floor. You have to watch where you step. But they've got all these different altars. There's a Gaia altar. There's a Cernunnos altar. There's a tribute area for Herne.
Yeah.
But then there's a little Buddha altar. So there's also, and then of course there's the pool where you can, if you're so inclined, swim in, but you'd have to take all your clothes off. And they've got all apples floating in it because of Halloween, and there was all pumpkins lit up around the edge.
So good.
And there must be hundreds of candles in there.
Oh, yes.
But the sound of the water, so you go to one end and you can just see the water just coming down through the tor and just pummeling out. But the sound of it is really hypnotic. And because you're in this space with all these beautiful deities and altars, and it's lit by candles and people are whispering, and it's just, it's incredible. And you just feel, you know, a temple should be, in my opinion, earth-centric. And that is.
So easy.
You feel like you're going into the bowels of the earth, but
because
the elements are there.
Down into it.
Yeah. You've got all the rocks, you've got the fire of the candles, you've got the water, you've got the smells of the incense for air. So it's all the elements are there. It's just incredible. Am I missing comments?
Probably. You can just sit there for ages. You could just sit there for hours, or I could.
Saskia's here. Hi, Saskia. Oh no, Brian missed it last time. Oh, do try and get here.
Try.
It's well worth it. Dawn didn't sleep last night either. I cried in there, lighting the candle made me think of my mum and friends lost. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's free to go in, as you'd expect, for a temple. And they've renamed it a temple this year, haven't they?
They have. There's a sign up, isn't there?
Yeah, now it says the White Springs Temple. Which is perfect, because that's how we described it last year.
I cried in there last year.
Yeah.
Because it's just the way it was, and the experience with the Cernunnos last year.
Yeah, I filled up when we was at near where that door is that you can't get out of, was at that bit. And I just said to Sat, I said, this is the best place on earth. And I got quite, you know, because it just gets to you like that.
It does, it definitely does.
Hi Kay, nice to see you. I made it. SJ's here as well. Nice to see you. If there's anybody else that's come in and I've missed you, then Lucia's here. Hope you're having a wonderful time in Glastonbury. Wish I was there. Hoping to, what is that? Hoping to get near Easter next year.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Brilliant.
I can't believe your Glastonbury trip has come round again. The year's gone by so quickly. Lily Rose, we was just saying that. Because like Sandra and I will glide each other, and a few weeks ago we'll say, oh, I can't wait for Glastonbury. Feels like forever ago when you're not here. And then on the first night we sat in the front room, which is just through here, and it's like we're home. And it's like we've never been away.
Yeah.
I sit on the sofa, which is kind of like under the stairs, and there's always the next door, and it sounds like someone's walking above us.
Yeah.
So, and again, we had that same sound. I was like, how has this been a year? You know, it's flown by. Late Samhain blessings to you all. Yeah, we didn't do our ritual this year, did we?
We didn't. It was because I think, you know, we were meeting up with Giselle and Keith, so.
And we went to the zombie walk.
Yes.
So on the high street this year, because last year we was a little bit disappointed. We got here for Samhain. That's what I was saying about the 2-day difference. So we arrived on Samhain last year and we arrived on Samhain this year, even though it was Tuesday last time and Thursday this time. And there was nothing happening. There was an event up at the Chalice Well, but nothing on the high street. And they normally always have like parades or that sort of thing. Well, this year when we got here, it was in Philippa Bowers, and the lady in there said, "Oh, there's a zombie walk tonight," and was a bit unsure about the time because some people were saying 4:30, others were saying 6 p.m, but the roads were shut at 4:30. So you can't get in here till 4, but we got here a little bit earlier and it was ready. So we only really had time to drop our cases off, freshen up, and then get back to the high street. And we didn't think Giselle and Keith was going to join us, did we?
No, we didn't.
And we were sat on the bench and they come behind us and boom. But then we watched the zombie walk go past. And that's just basically everybody dresses up as zombies and does
doing the walk
up the high street. So, of course, it's on the vlog. I've vlogged it. I keep looking there, but my camera's the wrong way around, so it's there I need to look. Oh, hey up our Chris. Sexy Susan.
Hello, Chris.
So yeah, so that was our Samhain. So of course then...
You're on early. Yeah.
You know, it's 7 p.m. somewhere in the world where they haven't put their clocks back. Yeah, we need to have dinner tonight for our last night. So we was trying to think that if we went live at 7, time we get off would be 8. And it would be too rushed. I saw the Glastonbury Zombie Walk and the Times Square dance to Michael Jackson Thriller 1 2. They was on about that, weren't they?
Talking about that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the costumes were amazing. There was a Beetlejuice. There was Pennywise.
That was creepy, that Pennywise.
It even got a light up balloon, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all on the vlog. But yeah, we came on early just so we could get dinner sorted afterwards. And then we realised anyway, in the States, I believe your clocks go back tonight, whereas ours went back last week, so it's still technically 7 o'clock UK time. That don't make sense, but do you know what I mean? So if it's Eastern, it would be 2 p.m, and it's still 2 p.m, even though we've gone an hour early. Am I making any sense at all?
Yes.
Wow, there's 103 people here. It's lovely to see you all. Welcome. So that was the first day. I can't remember what we did on the second day. What did we do on the second day? Tour.
Tour.
Do you want to?
Stop laughing.
I'm not laughing. So we went to the tour. We decided to not get up as early because the first day is always a killer. And I'm like, we've seen sunrise every year, so why don't we just get up and go about 9 o'clock? We'd arranged to meet Giselle for around 10 anyway, hadn't we?
Yeah.
So we went up, set off about 8:15. We was up there for 9. Tougher going this year. The older we get. Sandra was halfway up. She went, you do realise, Simon, don't you, that one year we're not going to make it up here.
Yeah.
I said, well, until that day comes, I'm going to keep trying. Because again, it's one of those things that I personally always want to do when I come to Glastonbury. Because once you are up there, it's incredible. But then on the way back down,
Yeah.
you can tell the story, Sandra.
Well, there's steps that go down the tour, which is the way that you would normally walk. We'd come down so far, and I said, oh look, I wonder if it'd be quicker to go, whether it would be possible to walk on the grass that dips down. Because, and I thought, oh, it'll cut off that bit on the corner that I don't like.
Because it's snakes.
Yeah.
For a reason. It's snakes for a reason. Because it's not as steep, so it's snakes.
So, and you said you were going to try it.
I said, I'll try it. But I did say, I think you should stick to the path.
Yeah, he did.
You know what's coming, don't you?
And going down, it wasn't too bad, but then there was sections where it was quite muddy.
And you'd got your stick.
And I'd got my stick, the trekking pole. But at one point, my feet just went both together and I ended up on my backside on the tour.
Legs straight out in front of her.
Yeah.
And on her back, totally stunned. And then she said, I'm not going to be able to get up.
Because of my dodgy knees, it's really difficult for me to be able to get up from a sitting position on the floor like that. So Simon tried to pull me up front-wise, got hold of my hands at the front to pull me up. But my knees just haven't got the strength in them to do it that way. So I'd got knee supports on, fortunately. So I said, no, I'm going to have to get onto my knees.
But before that, picture the scene. We're there on the side of the tour, quite high up still at this point.
Yes.
On a bank like that, no one around, and Sandra's saying, I'm not going to be able to get up. And I'm thinking, do I get air ambulance? What do I do? And then I was thinking, well, if worse comes to worse, I'm going to have to get hold of her ankles and just drag her down. Because what else could I do?
But then I said, let me just get onto my knees and I'll try and push myself up from there. But of course, when I've got up like that before, I've had something to hold on to. But it was just the grass. And I'm like, how am I going to do that? So it wasn't funny at the time, but I'm like, I can't do this. So Simon, I can't imagine anybody looking from behind us, because he had to come up behind me, put his arms right the way around my middle and pull me as I tried to push upwards.
There was a part of me that wanted to whip out my camera and think, well, I'm vlogging the whole experience anyway. So, but I think that might have killed our friendship at that moment.
At that moment. But I dread to think, and then I was like, oh my God, when you were helping me to get up, all that time when I'm on my knees, you had my backside in your face.
It's true. And the only thing I was worried about, I didn't say anything to Sandra at the time, but of course I'm behind, Sandra's in a doggy, what to say doggy stuff.
Stop it!
But yeah, on all fours. Sandra's on all fours. I'm stood behind her. So I had to get my arms around the front of her to lift her up. But bearing in mind, I'm here lifting her this way, and I'm thinking, I'm lifting her up on a 45-degree angle. This ain't going to end well.
Oh no, I thought if you could have easily gone as well. It just would have ended up a big mess on the top.
Linda says, I feel for you, Sandra. I'm waiting on a knee replacement, but I have to
Yeah.
lose more weight on this. I'm glad you weren't seriously hurt.
No,
Sandra, that is
bruises.
awful, you poor thing.
A few bruises, but it was fine.
Hope you're not in any pain, says Lily Rose.
No. I think probably the knee supports protected my knees a bit, but I have still got bruises on my knees.
He was like, did anybody see me?
I know, that's all I was thinking was, oh my God. And imagine what it would have looked like, you up behind me like that, and that from behind.
But I'm not the only one that thinks like that as well, because your brother said...
Yeah, my brother...
Did Simon film it?
Yeah, because I messaged my brother because he's picking me up tomorrow from here, and I told him that I fell, and he was like, oh, that's just priceless, brilliant, and laughing faces, and I'm like, it's not funny. He said, I hope Simon filmed it. No.
Was you able to get back to the stairs? Yes. So
yes, that was tricky.
We then thought, well, we can't continue because actually it looked like it got even steeper, didn't it?
Yeah, and it took me a while to actually get my balance, even once you'd got me up.
And to be fair, it was deceiving because as you're coming down, it looks like it's pretty much okay, but then there's like a dip and you don't see that from where you are at the top. So then we just had to go sideways till we could get back to the steps.
And had to do it slowly because then I was panicking that I was going to slip again. So I was going dead slow to get back to the steps. So it took us twice as long as it probably would have done if I'd have just gone down the steps and not done that. So I said, that's it. Note to self, never do that again. Just go down the steps.
Forever After says, I don't know what last year's was, but they said, every year you two manage to get in some sort of Three Stooges predicament. Oh, last year was the long steep walk up a hill. Yes, coming back from Gog and Magog, the mud.
Yes, the mud.
And the two hills.
And then I got stuck in the mud and I was like, I can't do it. I can't. It's too slippery. And you're saying, well, you've got to...
You made me turn the camera off at that bit, though. Do you remember? You was like, stop filming.
Stop filming because it was really awful and I just didn't know what to do. And that was when I had to get right into the hedge to get around because it was so muddy and slippery, really thick mud. So there was that. The year before that, I fell down the step in the bedroom, in the cottage.
Yeah.
It's always something.
But last year, when we come back from the Gog and Magog trees, because we got lost and we ended up, it was awful. Awful. 4 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we saw this sign saying to Glastonbury, and it was cutting through a field. And I said, I bet this just cut straight through. And then it was all uphill, and then there was a grove of trees. And then when we got through the grove of trees, there was another hill just as steep, and it was horrendous. And
then on top of that, thick, slippery mud that you had to get through to be able to carry on going.
Yeah, Kay's also could empathise. She's got a titanium knee.
Yeah, it's so not fun.
Yeah. But it didn't stop play.
It didn't.
You got back in, you took your knee supports off, checked yourself over, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then we went and met Coffee and Cake with Giselle and Keith, wasn't it? So that was yesterday's lunch. So we went to a place called 100 Monkeys.
Yeah.
100 Monkeys. And we had coffee and cake for lunch.
That's nice.
Instead of a lunch, we just thought we'd have coffee and cake. And then we did some shopping with them, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
But we went to the Georgian Pilgrim and had a really nice couple of hours sitting in the Georgian Pilgrim having some drinks. So Keith and I both had a cider, and then we had mulled wine. Giselle had some wine. Did you have wine? What did you have in the Georgian Pilgrim? Mead. Sandra had mead.
Yeah. Was that when I left you for a bit?
Yeah, you left us for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, to
something
go
like
to the
that.
bookshop and another shop.
Yeah. But it was really nice to I think you know what that's like. You know, when you've gone away for a few days, but just to sit in an old-fashioned pub and with some friends and just natter about anything and everything and have a few drinks in an afternoon.
So nice.
It was just what was needed.
Mm.
Because Glastonbury, there's lots of spiritual elements that we like doing,
Yeah.
but it can also be quite a lot of hustle and bustle with all the shops, and because
Yes.
it's so unique, the whole town is so
It can
unique.
get extremely busy.
Yeah, so it was just a nice welcome break just to sit and put our feet up and sit metaphorically.
Because you can only do so much with the shopping and the busyness before you need to have a break in a cafe or something.
Yeah, and they've got a fair share now of cafes, haven't they? They've got about
They have,
6 or
to be
7
honest.
cafes.
There's a fair few. And I think we've been in most of them, and none of them are awful or anything, are they?
No, no. And then we came back to our respective accommodations. So we came to the cottage, they went to their apartment for a couple of hours, and then, as I say, we met up last night for dinner, which was lovely.
It was.
Yeah. So, and then tonight we're having some food,
We are.
and then home tomorrow.
Home tomorrow. I can't believe it. Goes so quick.
Yeah.
I'm really pleased that we've got 7 days next week.
Yeah.
And even that will probably go really quickly.
Yeah, and we're staying here again, so that'll be our 4th year staying here.
It will.
And we bumped into Lois, the guys who have the cottage are James and Neil. Lois looks after it as well, doesn't she? So she'll come in between people. We was just walking to up the tour, wasn't it, yesterday morning?
To go to the tour, yeah.
And you have to pass by the Chalice Well, and she stopped us and said, "Are you?" Oh, well, she said Brian at first, and that really threw me. I was like, Simon? And I thought, well, I am Brian, but the only people that know me as Brian is family and work people. So, but because I've used my bank to pay for things, I use my first name rather than the name that everybody uses for me, which is my middle name. But then she said, I'm Lois from Moonstone Cottage. So we had a bit of a chat, and she was lovely.
She was lovely. She was really nice. It was really nice to meet her.
And she was the one who made the candle sconces that I purchased from here last year that are on my sacred space. They're beautiful. I love them. So that was nice when you bump into her. And then we met somebody who subscribes.
Yes.
On the first day.
Yes.
She just came up to me and said, are you Simon? And I was like, yes. And apparently he's in Dustin's chat a lot for Modern Metaphysicae. So if you're watching, Lois, and I forgot the lady's name.
Oh, I've forgotten the lady's name as well.
She did tell me.
Yeah.
But I have a brain like a sieve. But anyway, if you're watching, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Nice to see you. Mead, mud and mysticism.
Yes, yes. Who said that?
That was Forever Aware After.
Yeah.
Mead, mud and mysticism.
Yeah, perfect.
Leaving must be such a sad feeling.
For me it is.
Yeah.
I'm not good with leaving places or people.
You don't like goodbyes,
do you? I don't like it.
Yeah, I just dread the journey. So once I'm up and packed, I want to get going, because I think potentially, and Sundays, particularly Sunday afternoons, because I used to work on the motorway for 10 years, mainly in a different lifetime, can be one of the busiest days for travel, because everybody's going back from places, as I will be. So potentially I'm looking at a 4-hour journey. So I'm like, as soon as I can get on the road, the better, really, and get home. I will do a live tomorrow evening with Glastonbury goodies. So I'll show you the stuff that I've picked up. Yeah, I think you're going to be doing a video at some point as well, aren't you? With yours?
I will, with the haul.
Yeah, so Glastonbury goodies will be tomorrow, hopefully around 4-5 p.m, because I know Becca goes live on a Sunday at 7. So I'll try and go around 4 or 5. If you want to see purchases, then I'll do that live, and then I'll do the vlog.
Says she's known you as Brian since she won a competition, I think.
Dirty Pam contest. I've known you as Brian since I won your Dirty Pam contest. Wow. That's going back 2018. I think when I did the Dirty Pam. Might be 2017. But yeah. Yes, because obviously for mailing and things as well. And particularly if I purchase something or somebody, if I do a trade, I have to say, can you put to Brian? Because if I'm not home and it goes to the, even though Simon is on my legitimate middle name, I've gone before to the post office and they're saying, no, that's not what the name says.
Yeah.
It says Brian Harrison. Sorry, the parcel says Simon Harrison. I'm like, that's me.
Yeah.
So for ease, I just say, can you put my first name? So yeah, and then obviously I'll do the vlog too. So that's tomorrow. Anything else? I was going to mention this. I picked this up in a shop. Obviously, like I said, I'll do the Glastonbury goodies tomorrow. But I don't know if anybody's seen. Oh, it goes the opposite way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This deck. It was in a shop. Which one was it? Hollow Hills, which is a bookshop, but they do tarot and oracle decks, and they're really reasonably priced in there, aren't they?
Actually, yes.
It's a really good one. And I sent Chris a picture of them earlier. It's by Findhorn Publications, and it's in a sturdy box, and it's Mini Tarot Rider-Waite Smith. And I picked it up and I said, I've never seen this before. I asked Giselle and you, and you'd not seen it. And then the lady from the card said, it's brand new out. But I just saw this in a shop today.
Yeah, because she said it was new.
Yeah.
Hello, butterfly.
What's that? Lyra says, thanks to you, Simon. I love native Sao Paulo Centre and Capel. Yeah, it is really
Do you know
nice.
what's another good one? If you've ever used the Banjara incense,
Mayan Capel.
Their Capel is brilliant, but also their frankincense one is amazing. If you can get it, it sells out really quick. But the Banjara frankincense, if you like
That's
incense,
what I picked up, wasn't it? I got one.
Yeah, I said to you today you should try it because it's lovely.
I like their Mayan Capel, but they didn't have that, did they?
They didn't, no.
So this is a tuck box. Oops, I've got the book in there as well. Tuck box. A little book, Rider-Waite Smith. It's quite nice. It's redrawn, completely redrawn, but it's also very weird. Look at the edges. Well, let's take the band off first. So it's a mini deck, and I thought, oh, I bet the cardstock's going to be rubbish. It was only about £15.
I thought.
But the cardstock is really nice. These are the backs, which I quite like. But look at the edges.
Nice shiny black. Look at that.
Well, it's not really showing. It's almost like a mirror effect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shiny. It's glossy cardstock anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, nice black shiny edges. That's a little bit better. But it's redrawn, and I mean, look at the shadowing effect around the faces are really quite bizarre. And it just looks like, and Giselle said, well, now you've said that, you'll always see it. But it looks like the Empress has got a beard, look. I mean, what's that?
And you'll never not see that now.
Yeah, the bearded Empress. So, I mean, it's okay for a, they're stuck together.
Well, you had to have it as an RWS.
Well, I was
collector.
like, yeah, I do. I've got a whole section in my bookshelves that are just RWS decks, and I like the fact that it was called the Rider-Waite Smith, which is interesting because this isn't Pixie's artwork, but they finally put Smith in there. But it's okay, you know, if people don't want to spend a lot on a tarot deck. It says mini, but it's it's quite a decent
Decent size.
size,
And
really.
some people like the smaller decks, don't they? If you've got smaller hands.
And some people who don't perhaps appreciate Pixie's artwork, this one is more sort of clear lines,
Yeah.
different coloration, but it's very much obviously based on the RWS. It's an RWS version, at least. Oh, I'll see if I can find this. Thanks, Sandra. What is she looking for?
Who? Oh.
Lily Rose.
Find it. Oh, that's the Banjara incense.
Oh,
yes. Here they had it in Goddess and the Green Man, but you can get it online if you put in Banjara incense. But like I say, the frankincense one tends to be hard to get. But if you can get it, it's so nice.
The dogs are cute in that one a lot.
Yeah, they are.
I'll just show the majors. And black borders, which is unusual. But the colours are nice. It's a colourful deck. It's quite a chunky deck because it's you know, nice cardstock. So I thought for £15, that is quite a good purchase, and it's in a nice sturdy box. The book doesn't give you much really. Just open it up so you can see. You just get some keywords and a sentence or two for each card. But she was, because I was only asking, not because I knew nothing about tarot, but I said, do you not have one open, do you? Because I thought, £15 deck. And I thought, I bet the cardstock is shocking. And she said, I don't. And then I said, I'm trying to work out the thickness. I think if there's a book in there, this will give an idea of the thickness. I said, does it come with a book? She went, no, but I can recommend. And next to it was Arthur Edward Waite's Key to the Tarot. I can recommend Key to the Tarot here to have with it. I said, oh no. Well, I said, I don't need a book. But I'm just trying to work out the thickness of the deck. But as it turned out, it was okay.
Does anyone think that's the only deck Simon bought, do you think?
Excuse me.
I'm just...
How many decks did you buy? I don't think we should go there.
Might be one or two.
And some. No, says Hello Kitty.
Of course not.
Actually, I didn't mention this one, did I, earlier? When I was counting them up.
No, so now you've got more than me.
By one. I think.
By one.
But I actually got a couple of Oracle decks this time.
Surprisingly, because you're not a big Oracle fan.
No, I did get another tarot deck. That I saw.
Simon said, a book. Do you know who I am? Oh, dear.
The Bearded Empress deck is going to become a thing,
Yeah.
like the Dirty Palm or the Blushing Fool, yeah, or the Sunburnt Magician. Now we have the Bearded Empress. I actually thought that earlier.
Yeah.
Always got my significator card.
Oh, look at that. You were meant to have it.
Happy Squirrel card for whether Simon brought any decks. Yeah, I didn't do too bad.
No.
And I can't believe I bought a goddess.
And neither can I.
Sandra like yesterday because I did the right thing.
Yep.
I saw it and I didn't buy it on impulse. I thought, no, I'll come back. Even though there's only one, I was thinking, well, I'll take that chance. But then if it's not there, it's not meant to be. You know, I have that conversation with yourself. And I went back today and I just thought, yeah. And you said to me yesterday, didn't you? Well, where are you going to put it?
Where are you going to put another goddess, Simon? You said, I'll think about that later.
She's beautiful though. Wait till you see her
Oh,
tomorrow.
she is. She is.
Yeah, so, yeah. Anyway, where are we for time? We've got 5 minutes left. Any questions you want to ask us while we're together? Anything about Glastonbury or anything that you want to ask us before we
And
jump
as I
on?
say, I know I haven't done videos for a little while, but hopefully next week at some point I'll be showing my Glastonbury treasures.
Yeah, and you did quite well this time, didn't you?
I did actually, yes, yes.
How long did it take you to get to the top? What, from here?
Not long.
45 minutes from here to the top.
Yeah, from here to the top.
On the
of top.
vlog, I record my watch when we get to the foot of the tour, don't I? And I think it's 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But we stopped and sat halfway up, didn't we, on a bench for 5 minutes.
Did, yeah.
So it's about 35 minutes from the foot of the tour to the top of the tour, taking your time.
Because we do it slowly and do stops and things, because unless you're extremely fit and are used to it, you're not just going to go, look, I'm not fit either. You know, because some people, you see them just go up there like it's nothing, but it's probably people that live here and are used to doing it every day. Or
When they go past you with this stick.
Up and
Morning!
like, and you think, oh, how are they doing that? I can't breathe.
Yeah, morning!
Yeah.
I'll let you come past.
Yeah.
And then it's 10 minutes from here to the foot of the tour. And they're all together. They're on Wellhouse Lane. Right as you turn off, you've got Chalice Well, White Springs, foot of the tour.
Yeah.
And what we usually do is, well, we had it on the way back this time, is have some White Spring water at the foot of the tour before we make our way up.
Are folks eating?
How was Chalice Well after the many statue situation? She's back in her place.
Yes.
Mary statue. Yeah, so she's back in her place. I don't know if she's permanently there, or do they keep putting her there and taking her away?
No, I think she's permanently
Is
there
she permanently there? Yeah. So I've got that on the vlog too. So she's back where she was originally, just to the side of the wellhead.
Yeah.
And then, is there trick or treating in Glastonbury and Halloween? I don't know. We weren't home. We were out.
Yeah, there were some little kids going around with like the treat buckets and dressed as little skeletons and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because there was an event on in the town, most people went out of the town. And there were loads of kids in the zombie walk as well.
There were kids in the zombie walk.
So they could dress up and take part in that.
Yeah.
Was Keith able to bring some of his tour pendants to charge with Glastonbury energy? I'll show you some of them. You keep them entertained, Sandra.
I keep them entertained while you try to find. I know what you're looking for. I'm not going to try to find mine, because I've been sorting bags earlier, sorting things out. I think it looks like you've bought tons of stuff because they're all in separate bags, but when you actually do, oh look, he's found it. That was quick.
No.
This is lovely. This is Keith, Giselle's husband, makes these.
I'll show it as part of this is a sneak peek, because I'll show it as part of my Glastonbury goodies. But Keith and Giselle are two of the most generous people you're ever likely to meet.
Yeah.
And we sat in, when I said it was lovely having a drink in the Georgian Pilgrim yesterday afternoon, he opened his bag and he said, "This is for you, Sandra, and this is for you, Simon." And Giselle was like, "I thought we was doing gifts tonight."
Yeah, he went ahead.
But he is part of Floki Craft. He doesn't have an Etsy shop, but he did say that people can contact him on Instagram.
He's Floki Craft on there, so you can contact him.
And he gifted me this.
So lovely.
Which is absolutely gorgeous. It's quite heavy and thick. It's treated beautifully. It's done in copper. It's got an enamel on it, but it's the Glastonbury tour.
Yeah, those pieces are actually heavier than you think too, aren't they?
Yeah. And I filmed this using cinematic just so you could see, because even now it's not doing it justice as to how beautiful this piece is. So I'm going to get some cord for it at home, and I'm going to wear this. But the colours in it is just gorgeous, really beautiful. So when you just mentioned it, I thought, well,
yeah.
I'll
And
show it.
the piece that I got was also a pendant, which is a heart shape that Keith gifted to me, which was really lovely. And you know, so generous. Like like you say, Keith and Giselle, really generous people.
Yeah, they are. See if there's any more questions. Trick or treating, we got that one. Did Keith? Did your watch count the steps? Yes.
Yeah.
And it said we did 22 flights. So I guess if you put, what's the flight? Around 15 steps into it.
Yeah, something like that.
So 300 steps. I don't know. But anyway, it said we'd done 22 flights. And yesterday we did 14,600 and something steps.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I don't know what we've done today. I don't think we've done as many.
Very many today.
10,822 today.
That's still not bad.
Oh, just jumped to 45. That's because I just walked to get that. Are folks eating any leftover treats from Halloween? As I understand, trick-or-treating is not done much in the UK. Yeah, it's more and more so. When I was a kid,
they didn't.
You just put a cheap mask on and you went round and people give you money. You can't do that now here because it's classed as begging, so it's outlawed. That's why we can't have carol singers anymore unless it's an organised event like a charity group. But because they're giving away candy now, it's become more and more like in America, hasn't it? More and more popular.
Yeah.
Simon, Sandra, sorry, that is a beautiful window display with the Buddha and the lights.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. We just switched it on tonight. I saw it lit up on the Moonstone Cottage. I've got a Facebook page. I saw it lit up there and I thought, well, that will actually make a nice backdrop for our live. They really go the extra mile here. There's always, it's on the side there, there's always a greeting card for you. Yeah. They ask what type of milk you want, so we have oat milk and they get that in for us. They leave tea lights, incense, all sorts out, don't they? There's a little goddess as well that we've used in previous years for ritual.
That have a supply of logs in case it's cold and you have to use the fire.
Keith is so talented. His pendants are stunning. Oh, yes. Really, I agree. Yeah. Really stunning.
Very talented.
I walked as much as you two. If I walked as much as you two, I'd need a vacation from my vacation. Yeah, but again, coming for longer next year, I think we can just pace ourselves.
Yes.
A little bit more.
A bit more than this time.
Yeah. But anyway, we've been on an hour. We said we'll just come on for an hour. So it's been lovely to catch up. Thank you for joining us at Moonstone Cottage.
Yeah.
We haven't even packed. We're going to leave that till the morning. So we're going to go and get something to eat. And like I say, tomorrow around 4 o'clock, hopefully if I'm back in time. But I'll aim to do a live tomorrow at 4 showing Glastonbury goodies. And then for the rest of the evening, I'll edit the vlog. That always takes hours. I'm back at work the next day, so it needs to be tomorrow night. But thank you everyone for being here. Yes. I have no idea how to end this live because I'm doing it straight through YouTube. More about the whole journey with StreamYard next time. But yeah, hopefully it might be these 3 dots.
What are those 3 dots?
No.
Help! Do you just press the cross and because that?
I could try that. I don't want to just.
I don't know if that does.
Oh, you wanted to stop streaming? Yeah. So bye everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, and see you soon.